The broke freshman, Zhao Xiaowan, puts on a mysterious ring with unknown nature and powers. A hideous devil bursts from his mouth, and all he knows is his life has changed forever. Disturbing historical mysteries are gradually revealed. Zhao Xiaowan now has to deal with a blood demon claiming to be an ancient king, some heart-eating zombies, and supernatural entities that can blend in with human civilization. Episode 1. The story starts with a flashback of war. The tyrannical rule of King Dixon of Shang caused another King Jifa to send his 50,000 men against the former. Unfortunately, his force was met with 170,000 elite warriors of King Dixon, which ensues to be remembered as the Battle of Moyi. Unexpectedly, the military strategist of King Dixon rebels against him and makes a failed assassination attempt. When the latter realizes that his own men have turned against him, he sets himself on fire and promises to return for revenge. Back to the present timeline, we see a charismatic character called Bai narrating the previously mentioned history to a bunch of students. He mentions that a statue of King Dixon was found wearing a mysterious ring during the excavation of the land of Mu. At the back of the class, we meet Zhao Xiaowan, a delinquent student casually sleeping until his friend wakes him up to offer a dubious deal that will help them both in making quick money. It is revealed that Zhao's father is on an excavation quest and he is having a hard time paying for his mother's hospital bills. He arrives at the location sent by his friend where a group of thugs has gathered along with a girl named Jiang Xuanyan, who is eager to record something entertaining on her phone. Zhao's friend asks him to wear a ring from an ancient dynasty if he wants his mother's bills to be paid. Although Zhao realizes that ring belongs to the late Dixon, he is unable to reject the offer. Much to everyone's disappointment, nothing happens. Apparently, according to the legend, a corpse appears if someone wears Dixon's ring. Just when Zhao takes a sigh of relief, he starts choking, with his eyes bulging out. A red creature appears from his mouth and devours someone's arm. While everyone panics and Zhao hyperventilated, the red creature transforms into a muscular, devil-like being and seems to be ecstatic at the thought of still being alive. Episode number 2. The devil has a supernatural speed and can extend to any part of his body. He uses his newly found abilities to eat the heart of one of the thugs while effortlessly obliterating the others. One blow is all it takes, while Zhao and Jiang Xunyan try their best to take off his ring. The summoned devil quenches his thirst by absorbing everybody's life forces. Knowing that he only has 5 seconds left to live, he decides to kiss Xunyan. To save both of their lives, one of the gang members succeeds in leaving a scratch on the devil's body. Meanwhile, Zhao and Xunyan try to escape. The day turns into night, and Zhao seems to be having intense PTSD. Xunyan seems to be unbothered even though the whereabouts of her gang members are still unknown. While Zhao is worried about paying hospital bills, Xunyan suggests that they both book a hostel room, which causes the former to have perverted thoughts. However, all of his fantasies evaporate when he looks at the cost of each room. His irrational dreams return as soon as he sees her pay. She clears up the misunderstanding once they enter their room. Apparently, she is reported and is only interested in the ring, which seems to be deeply integrated into Zhao's flesh. She asks the latter to take off his clothes, and when met with refusal, she knocks him out, leaving him unconscious and naked in bed. She leaves to get her phone. In his subconscious, the devil warns Zhao that as long as he is wearing that ring, they both will always be close to each other. When he wakes up from his nightmare, the police barge into his room. The private investigators, Xiaoqian and Ouyang Shen, suspect Zhao of killing the thugs at the construction site. Zhao tries to tell them that it was the devil's doing, but it only makes him sound like a madman. The only person who can prove his innocence is Xunyan, but she appears to be missing ever since she left to get her phone. He mentions her name to the police and they take him to her. The only catch is that she is dead. Much to Zhao's horror, the police found her dead body. The only one left who witnessed the event is Zhao, the prime suspect. Episode 3. Zhao panics and gets detained. He enters his subconscious where he meets the devil who offers to save his life only if he becomes its vessel. Zhao blatantly refuses and bites the ring to take it off. The van in which Zhao was detained gets attacked by a bunch of thugs sent by Zhao's friend, Louis, who seemed to have been killed by the devil. Apparently, he survived and promises to prove Zhao's innocence in court by first obtaining Xuan Yun's phone, which contains a video of the devil murdering everyone. At the forensics lab, Xuan Yun comes back to life and retrieves her phone. Louis tells Zhao that Xuan Yun is a zombie who cannot be trusted, and if he brings her phone along with the ring, the former will pay his mother's bills. Meanwhile, Louis had already dispatched some of his gang members after Xuan Yun. However, the entire squad gets murdered by a bunch of zombies. Zhao arrives at the location of Xuan Yun's disappearance, and it appears to be an infamous house known for the deaths of many. Episode 4. They enter the secret passage where the previous squad had died. Zhao requests the gang to take off the cuffs of the investigators as it will only slow down their movement. They proceed further and come across a suspicious room that contains intestines, eyes, and other body parts of questionable creatures. Exploring further into the abyss, they get trapped inside a dungeon, and it is all a scheme of a mysterious man in a lab coat who seems to be working alongside Xuan Yun. Inside the dungeon, arrows are fired at everyone from all directions. Zhao realizes that this is due to the light sensors, which they then destroy with the help of a flashbang. After that, they pursue the sound of someone running but get stuck at a dead end. Ouyang, while trying to impress, Xiao Qian claims that the painting on the wall is actually a secret passageway, and it turns out to be another dead end. The half-human, half-animal experiments come to life, and Zhao saves everyone by finding a hidden passage. He claims that Xuan Yun had left a hint for him by using her lipstick to mark the passage. Walking further, they reach a room and find an unconscious woman who turns out to be a famous actress. She panics and calls for help, but Zhao notices the stitches on her neck and tells everyone to get away from her. Turns out she was another experimenter who quickly unleashes her weapons. Episode 5. She reveals that she underwent surgery voluntarily to obtain immortality. They open fire, but it's of no use as she is bulletproof. She attacks Ouyang, who gets fatally wounded in an attempt to protect Xiao Qian. Everyone runs away while Ouyang sacrifices himself to hold the monster back. Soon, Louis' gang members abandon Zhao and Xiao Qian, leaving them as bait for the monster. The old man named Wang gets furious when he finds out that Xuan Yun helped Zhao. He traps her in a cell and electrocutes her because her rebellious acts can cause him to bear responsibility in front of Chief Corpse of the Zombie Nation. Meanwhile, Zhao tends to Xiao Qian's wounds and promises to protect her against the monster no matter what it takes. He musters up the courage and leaves to encounter the immortal monster face to face once again. Episode number 6. Zhao confidently walks up to the woman and lets her attack him. Just when her blade is about to touch his forehead, he tells the devil inside his ring to take over his body. She mocks him, but only until she sees a red smoke appearing out of thin air. The devil smashes her into the wall, and she tries running away in fear. He catches up to her and kills her, calling the fight boring. Meanwhile, Zhao shakes in fear. The treacherous gang members make a fool out of themselves by shooting a rat, but it only works against them as it wakes up a bunch of zombified mosquitoes. Xiao Qian, worried about Zhou, follows him by dragging herself on the ground and passes out. The devil, impatient to get resurrected, enters Zhao's body and intends on eating Xiao Qian's heart later on. However, his plans get spoiled by the same knife user again, who had been undercover all this time. It appears that his reflexes are super fast, which helps him in sashing the devil's hand once again. Zhao realizes that the devil is none other than King Dixon, when it recalls all the feats it accomplished in the past. Episode 7. Dixon claims that he is a god, and Zhao is just a sacrifice that is needed for his resurrection. The knife user Wandeo states that Dixon is just part of the zombie nation that he has sworn to destroy. A duel between both ensues while Zhao remains entrapped. For every slash the man lands on Dixon, he regenerates in a matter of seconds. However, the man still manages to go toe-to-toe with the immortal field. Meanwhile, Old Man Wang sees the videos on Xuanyuan's phone and panics. He ties her down with the intention of performing cruel experiments. However, the tables turn when his own previous subjects of experiments cause him to get struck inside a trapdoor. As soon as the self-destruct sequence gets activated, Wang leaves behind his beloved research facility and runs for his life. Back in the dungeon, Zhao's ring starts glowing, one of his eyes turns red, and his arms transform into that of a monster. This causes Dixon to disappear into the ring. At the same time, Xuanyuan falls from the trapdoor above Zhao, which causes Wandeo to attack her due to his hatred for zombies. Zhao interrupts him and sides with her, partly because her lipstick mark saved their lives, and mostly because he is just a simp. She informs that Xiaoqian is in a safe place, and the entire facility is about to self-destruct. However, the main hurdle to their escape plan is the Claymore mine Louis' gang members had previously installed. Episode number 8. Owing to the water seeping in from all directions, all the murderous experiments get loose. Xuanyuan takes out the mine explosion by absorbing the energy inside her. Zhao observes mysterious markings on her body, but she threatens him to never mention them again. Xuanyuan knows all the secrets to the exit, but to reach it, they have to swim. Zhao gets attacked by a monstrous octopus, but Xuanyuan uses her powers to help him escape. Zhao and Wandeo fall unconscious when the octopus emerges from the water. Apparently, Old Wang had created this monster so Xuanyuan knows its weaknesses. She arrives with a flamethrower and easily takes it down. They're about to escape when Zhao starts drowning once again. He wakes up in a hotel room with his face on the TV news calling him the most wanted criminal for kidnapping the mayor's daughter, investigator Xiaoqian. Wandeo has left him a note at quite a ridiculous place to meet him if he wants to know the secret of the ring. Episode 9. The first thing that is of utmost importance to Zhao is his mom. Despite the fact that the police are everywhere looking for him, he leaves to meet his mom. He tells her that this is all just a misunderstanding, and he will do everything he has to clear his name. Their emotional reunion is cut short when the sirens ring, and the police barge in. Zhao promises to bring his father back and jumps out of the window. Meanwhile, Old Wang, being the puppet he is, brings gifts for the chief corpse every day in the form of half-human and half-animal women. Apparently, Teacher Bai, that was seen tutoring the students in the first episode, is the chief of Zombie Nation. One day, Old Wang brings Xiaoqian as a gift to him, but gets scolded for not realizing that she is the mayor's daughter. Bai is concerned because this could stir up the old war between zombies and humans. Wang explains that Xiaoqian knows about the facility, so it isn't wise to let her go now. He also tells the chief of Xuanyuan's rebellion and shows her phone as evidence. As a reward, Bai gives him a zombie pill. Just when Bai is about to eat Xiaoqian's heart, Xuanyuan emerges from the pool, surprising Wang. She restrains the latter, who starts experiencing the side effects of the pill, which is revealed to be a decomposition pill. He realizes that Chief has chosen Xuanyuan to look for something called divinity for him. This enrages him, and he transforms into the real zombie form. However, Chief Bai takes off his eye patch and devours Wang without breaking a sweat. He also tries to intimidate Xuanyuan, but she plays cool. She reminds him that they are both equally in the wrong for using each other. He is using her to obtain divinity, and she has violated laws by revealing their secret facility to the humans. She claims that if it wasn't for the ring, she would have eaten Zhao long ago. So Bai doesn't have to worry about her loyalty. Meanwhile, Zhao is running barefoot in the streets looking for Wan Dao. Louis, his classmate, finds him first. After bickering, Louis states that he will cut Zhao's ring finger off to relieve him of his stress. Zhao reveals that it is impossible to get rid of the ring, and that according to Wan Dao, the only solution is to visit Tiangsu Temple. At the mention of the temple, Louis kicks him out of his car and tells him that he is on his own. Episode number 10. Being as broke as he is, Zhao takes a discount tour of the temple. To make matters worse, Wan Dao has given him a terrible drawing of the map to his destination. Days pass by and wander off into the forest. One evening he runs into a girl trying to escape a bunch of men who are accusing her of stealing a pendant. She claims that it was hers to begin with. They threaten to shoot her, but she doesn't budge. The man pulls the trigger, but Zhao steps in time to mess up his aim. It appears as if they know each other. The girl falls down the cliff and Zhao holds her hand and joins her. He closes his eyes to focus hard and successfully transforms his hand again and grabs the rocks to stop their fall. Apparently, she is his classmate, Tarti, who is obsessed with myths and came to Wiyu Mountains in search of a deity called Pengzu. She claims that since Zhao can transform his hand, he must have magical abilities. Zhao finds her theories to be amusing until they notice coffins hanging from the rocks. Apparently, people did that so their souls can become deities. Before Tarte goes to sleep, Zhao claims that he doesn't believe in deities and is only there to find someone. He recalls the memories of his father leaving for the Wiyu Mountains while taking a piss on the coffins. That's when one of the coffins opens up, and a creature comes out of it claiming to be a lesser deity called Mu Shizu. It claims to have mentored Wan Dao and now has been instructed by higher-ups to help Zhao. He then teleports both of them to the Tiangsu Temple. Episode number 11. Zhao wakes up alone and watches some people complete a ritual and eat an old man alive. He thinks that those are just after images from centuries ago, but the men turn around and notice him. That is when his head starts getting dizzy, and it turns out that he was unconscious all this time. Mu Shuzi tells him that he must have opened his eyes in the middle of teleportation and what just happened to him were just side effects. Mu Shuzi reveals that the spot they are currently at is where the deity Pengzu became a deity. Zhao recalls that it is exactly where the old man got eaten alive. He puts two and two together and theorizes that the old man we saw was Pengzu, and people eating him were his grandchildren, who were cursed to become zombies. There, they meet Wan Dao, who seems to be drinking profusely. Everyone goes to a hot spring together, and Mu Shuzi is revealed to be as perverted as he seems. Zhao regrets coming to the temple and believes that neither he will find something out about the ring here nor his father. He tries to leave and comes across some deities in the middle of cultivating humans. Zhao eavesdrops on their conversation, and it is revealed that these deities desperately want to revert back to their human shape. Apparently only 5 deities have so far succeeded in reverting back to their human form, and it is after they ran into an excavation group they entered the Wiyu Mountains 5 years ago. Zhao believes that this has something to do with his father's disappearance, but before he can unravel more secrets, one of the higher-up deities attacks him. Episode 12. The higher-ups are about to kill Zhao, until they catch a glimpse of the ring on his finger. They claim that it belongs to the treasure of the temple. This is when Mu Shuzi interferes and tells them that Zhao has a meeting with the true lord. During the meeting, one of the higher-ups gets enraged at misbehavior of Zhao and unleashes his power. To their surprise, Zhao absorbs the former's attack and returns it twofold. True Lord calms everyone down and reveals that everyone who has worn the ring before died. It means that Zhao is special, and there's an important announcement that the True Lord intends on making regarding Zhao tomorrow. One of the higher-ups realizes that Zhao has a resemblance to a member of the excavation group they met 5 years ago. They are afraid that True Lord will name Zhao as his successor, so they plan on poisoning the former's pills before he can make the announcement. Meanwhile, Zhao is concerned that Dixon is making structural changes to his body slowly so that he can take over one day. At the same time, Xuanyuan and Chief Bai make their way to the temple. Episode 13. True Lord gets shot down by Tarti. She reveals that her father was a disciple in this temple, and he was killed because he found out an ugly truth regarding the higher-ups killing the excavation group 5 years ago. This comes as a painful shock to Zhao. In the flashback, we see Zhao's father and his team getting attacked by the zombies. Deities come in to save him and take him to the temple. They are given a warm welcome until they start experimenting on the temple. They find out that a particular room called the Deity Room has high levels of radiation. One day they ask Tarti's father to let them investigate. They find out that the deity's appearance is only due to mutation caused by radiation. The True Lord considers it unforgivable that they enter the room without his permission. After listening to his advisor, he orders higher-ups to kill the humans and use their energy to revert back to their original human forms. Once the story ends, Zhao seems to be a completely different person. His body starts undergoing a complete transformation, and his eyes turn red. Meanwhile, Chief Bai and Xuanyuan enter the temple and hear the news that the True Lord has died. Episode 14. The higher-ups combine their spells to detain Zhao, but he breaks the chain easily. However, he can't keep up with his demon strength long enough and soon passes out. Wan Dao steps in to help Zhao, but is taken down easily. Even his mentor gets killed in front of his eyes. The higher-ups plan on taking Zhao's ring while Bai sneaks through their gates with his zombies. In his subconscious, Zhao finally seals the deal with Dixon in return for avenging his father. That's where Season 1 ends. That's all for this video. Please make sure to drop a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more recaps on all your favorite anime shows. You don't want to miss out. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.